Okay, so this video is about creating a sacred space and maybe why you might want to begin a daily ritual in your own home, whether that's inside your home, but everybody knows me. I would much rather you create a ritual and calling in the elements and creating a sacred space outside, connecting to the energetic exchanges and connections that are offered outside in nature. So, I want to begin by saying that, um, when you begin connecting to the elements, when you begin a relationship with the directions, it's calling in an essence of who you are, a deeper understanding of the connection you have while on Mother Earth. These are the elements that you encompass while you're on Mother Earth, but you have been, I'm sure, in other realms and other places besides Mother Earth. So they are here to offer you their gifts, their connections, aspects of who you are. And it's this powerful, energetic boost of connection that are gifts to you to use. So for your own expansion, whether that's spiritual or if you want to stay in the material, that's okay too. They still offer this expanded perception of the magic in the world that's truly around you. So creating a daily habit, a daily routine, a ritual, creating sacred time, the more time you spend connecting to these energies, the more expansion that you will have, the more gifts that they offer, a deeper level of awareness that you can wield, and the magic that you remember within you when you create that exchange, that relationship, that sacred connection. Okay, so we are going to briefly go through creating a sacred space. When you are creating a ritual, it is so beneficial to start bringing in the elements, the directions, because you are working with an energy of all that is. It is beyond your physical body, and it's a connection to a deeper connection to your ancestors that did the same. There's not one of us that did not live a life where we were not some sort of native aborigine or someone that sat around a fire and lived from what the fire offered them. So I love to say this at my ceremonies, but every fire you have ever sat at in any of your lifetimes, each one of those embers burn within you. It's just reawakening and blowing in that fire to remember, all of the information that was ever shared in front of one of those fires. All of the gifts you ever had in front of one of those fires are all burning within you. You're just remembering, you're putting back together all of those gifts, the wisdom, the connection to all that is. So that is why I bring in the elements. That's why I bring in the directions. So fire, the Palo, I've got some sweetgrass in there. I've got some sage. So you are clearing away anything that is on you from your day, that you are clearing away and opening a space, a harmonic, like a harmonic, you're opening the space beyond the physical person you are in this lifetime. You're opening yourself up to, the eternal being that you are. So clearing space, that's why I clear space. So you can use a feather. You don't necessarily need a feather, but just remember the smoke is medicine. It's bringing in the air element. Fire is medicine. Remember that it helps burn your prayers, your desires, your manifestations. It's raising it up to the heavens. It's bringing all of that into a closer realm of spirit or heaven or Jesus or God or however you want to say it. I just wanted to open that up. So for ceremony tomorrow, I would, if you could at least burn a candle and have your incense Palo Santo. You can do an intention candle. You can do the colors of the candle. I saw that Ruby shared that. I also have something that I took off of like Pinterest that I used at Mother Earth, because each color does represent a different vibration of what you're bringing in. To bring in the elements, I use my rose water or Florida water for the water element, or you can have, I know quite a few of you have some moon water from our full moon ritual. That's a beautiful way to bring in the water element. And earth, I'm using Palo Santo. I have a seashell. But you can bring, if you want to bring in some herbs, I do burn my lavender, I burn my rose petals, anything that you want to bring from the earth, your crystals, your favorite crystals to have on hand. And so when you are creating your space in your home, or I love to do it outside because you're really connecting to the vibration of all that is around you. So I always enter on the east. So if you're doing this in the home, if you want to kind of face the east first, because the east brings in new beginnings. It's creation. It's to invite you into the world, and what do you choose to bring in? The new beginnings, the rising sun, the gratitude of each morning. So that is the significance of East. And just remember, the more you work with these elements, the more you work with the directions, you're calling upon, each one of these elements and directions are a part of you. It's a part of what your body does, how we exist, and we can talk about that later. But it's really holding the energies sacred. It's really creating sacredness of what gifts and what energies they offer into your body and to your life. So the more you work with the energies, the more of a connection you have, the more you will really begin to connect to the gifts that they offer. It's an energetic exchange, and they have a lot to teach us. So again, East, remember, is the rising sun. It's about new beginnings. What more of a beautiful energy to co-create with and connect to. So you want to always come in on the east, face the east when you start your sacred space. So I then go to the south in my yard. For some reason, I don't know if I'm from the southern hemisphere, but to me, south feels like earth. In the northern hemisphere, a lot of people say it's fire. So again, this is why it's so important for you to co-create a relationship and feel energetically what energies are being offered. Because for me in my yard, or I don't know if it's my previous lives or whatever, but south very much feels like earth to me. So this is will. This is power. You're calling in the energy to bring forth your desires into your world. And if you did this every morning, you are holding sacred space, calling in new beginnings, calling in will, calling in the energy to bring forth desires and creations into your world every day. You then go to the west, and west is water. So it's flow. Water, in order to flow with the river of life, our lessons show up. So remember, water and flow is all about shifting and redirecting yourself and not being in resistance in that flow of life, that river of life. And then also receptivity. Water is very fluid. It's fluidity, so it's receptivity. It's not just giving out to the world, but being open and receptive to receiving. So, and then you finish off with North. And North is fire, in my opinion. And this is an ending of what was. It's also rest and stillness before the new beginnings, the rebirth. But remember, fire is destruction, but you need death before you have your rebirth